You came into this world with no support whatsoever. No one will be able to truly understand what it's like to be you because you don't want to talk about it. You don't want to be the one to ruin anyone's day because they can't understand what it's like to stand alone. This is Yasira, the spiritual samurai. It is very hard to navigate in this world with little to no support, little to no resources. You literally started all the way from the bottom. But not only that, it's not just the poverty part, but you got traumas added on top of that. I'm talking like people have tried to take your life. People have really, you look back at the things that you've experienced, and sometimes it hits you, and you think like, damn, like this person really tried to take my life. And you sit back and you wonder, what did you do to deserve such hatred, such mistreatment? And these things happened when you were very young, a very young age, and you can never wrap your head around why you were treated in such a way when you were just a child. There's no one to really confide in this world because you realize that even the therapists don't always understand you. They might empathize with you, might. Empathy is good enough, at least, but you have some that don't. And when you realize how many people really don't understand you, it could be very disheartening and it could really mess with your head over time. You start to think that maybe you are going crazy. Well, the truth is, you're not crazy. You may feel like you are going crazy because of the fact that it's like you're going through constant obstacles and never stops and never seems to go away. And all that is an accumulation of all of these, like, it's an accumulation of a lot of labor that is needed to be done in order for us to even get to a place where the average person is easy for them to get because they have the support, they have the resources, the connections, and things like that. This world is absolutely rigged, but I don't let that discourage me, even though sometimes I feel like giving up. I won't lie to you. Sometimes I just say, what is the point of even continuing? Some people might think that, I have a very bright future because of how my intelligence and my ability to problem solve and things like that, but I'm broke. So at the end of the day, if you want to get anywhere in life, you have to have, for one, you have to be able to be liked by the world. You have to be accepted by this tight-knit communities of the world that only favors people that don't think for themselves and that are just like the group. When you're an independent thinker, when you're a chosen one, it's always going to be harder for you to find a place where you fit because we're not meant to fit in. And my question is, if we weren't meant to fit in this world, how are we supposed to succeed? Because one of the biggest things about succeeding is being liked. People do business with people they like. How can we succeed? How can we get to this point? I guess some people may say you have to take the route of entrepreneurship, but in the meantime, what can a person really do, to get there? But there's a lot of questions that I have and I'm constantly learning. But I'm not going to lie, I have done a lot of work. The amount of work that I've done on myself in all areas, whether it's mental, spiritual, financial, educational, it's a lot of work. It's work that most people aren't even doing. Like the average person that came from, a two-parent home and opportunities, resources, I've done more work than them because they were not required to do so because they already had a head start. I started at negative 100. They already were at 100. So of course it's gonna seem like they've done more, but really it's just the fact that so much was taken away from me and individuals like us in general that was born into a world with probably the one of the I would say not the best deck of cards. I'm not gonna say like mine is so horrible, but it wasn't that great either. There's a lot of people suffering in this world. I do acknowledge the fact that there's people that have it worse than me, but at the same time, it wasn't so great either. And you never want to minimize your own experiences either, especially when you understand the gravity of past traumas where you almost lost your life, or you've been SA'd and things like that. I've experienced some things that would cause me to have nightmares because I feel like somewhere an individual is lurking, and it gets to a point where you might go crazy. I overcame that aspect of it. I don't have those nightmares of as much as I did before. But the thing is, though, it's the fact that I feel like I'm stuck. I feel like no matter how much work I put into things, no matter how much knowledge I get, I feel like I'm still not really where I want to be. And I'm not sure if maybe it's because I still have more work to get there, but it's just sometimes it seems ridiculous because it's like I look at the people around me, and for the most part, some of these people, I know for a fact they're not putting in the same work. They're not, they come from parents that, help them out, pay their college and all this stuff, and parents that could help them. They already have a business, so it's like they don't have to build it from the ground up. It's already been built by their own parents, and now they just have to be under their wing. Things like that. They never had to experience SA, anything like that, right? Any type of trauma like that. They never had really fucked up life altering experiences to where now you don't know you don't even know what to do, they're not suffering from as a result of trauma, trying to escape from that reality. They don't feel that urge to just give it up, and you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I don't want to just go on and on with that, but it's just like some people, man, they have it so good that sometimes it kind of makes me upset, but I really shouldn't be, because that's not a good spirit to have. But it just sucks because it's like, it's not so much, I'm not bothered by them. It's just, I don't understand why I'm putting on all this work. It just emphasizes how much how much I was lacking just from the beginning. I have to basically do what was not done for me when I was a kid. You know what I mean? It's like I have to do all these things because, they weren't looking out for me like that, and it's very painful. I'm not going to lie. Like, sometimes you think like, dang, like, you weren't given anything by those that put you on this earth. Simple fact that you may say it's poverty, and that could be the case, or they separated, or one of them left you, or maybe they both left you, or one of them cares but they don't have the finances to help you, and then the other one just decided to move on with a new family, and that's it. You pretty much you're pretty much on your own. You have to fend for yourself. And whatever the situation is for you, I definitely understand what you're feeling. It's very heartbreaking. And one of the hardest things to go through is every time you're struggling and out in this world, it's almost like it's a constant reminder of what you've been lacking growing up. The deprivation of support and love, care, consideration, and investment. Oh, yeah, it says a lot. It says you feel the pain every day. It's not so much the pain of, substance addiction or not being able to hold a job or doing all this work and not getting anything out of it or the shitty economy. It's not just that. I mean, that's part of it. But one of the biggest things that cause the most pain through all these experiences is realizing that no one really invested into you like they should. Nobody really cared like they were supposed to. Not even as a child. When you were a child, it's like you were put in the position where you had to serve everybody else, but nobody really served you. Nobody really, brought life into you. You were the one that was born to be everyone's rock. And that's not good. You had to be strong for everyone else. You know what I mean? You were never really given that nurturance and that support that you needed the most. And it could bring a lot of anger. It could make you upset. It could make you very sad and depressed. It could make you want to give up on life. It could make you want to go back and just get high and drunk. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I feel like giving up. I do. I do. And maybe sometimes maybe you've thought about this. Maybe you thought, what's the fucking point? Maybe you've thought that, like, oh man, what did I do to deserve such hatred from certain individuals when I was a child? That could be what you're wondering. That's one of the things you're wondering, like, what did I do to make somebody hate me when I was 3, 8, 10, whatever your age was at the time? Because a lot of people don't understand this type of experience. You know what I mean? Like, they don't get it. They think, well, you must have did something to make them hate you. First of all, there's nothing that an 8-year-old can do to make anyone hate them. You might have gotten the foster kid treatment or the step kid treatment, whatever the case is. It's all terrible. If it was mistreatment, of course, which usually it is, it's sad, but all I can do, right, is, make these videos, write, keep moving forward in my studies and trying my very best. That's all I can do. I have to do things to keep me sane, and making these videos and talking to y'all is one of those things that I like to do. And only thing we can do is support each other in this community and try to strive for any goals that we have. And it's very painful. It really is, like, because I definitely understand, and that's all I have to say for now. I thank you for listening, and God bless.